Thanks very much, Colin, and thanks to Deanna, too. Thanks to Tree and Black Squirrel Books. Thanks to all of you for coming, and my dear friend Roland for a beautiful reading, and the open mic. I really enjoyed hearing that, too. Roland and I have the same water bottles. So tomorrow is my 13th wedding anniversary, so I dedicate this reading to my darling husband, Charles. You gossamer-skinned, pre-dawn, pre-exoskeleton, soft keratin, flimsy clod, all your edges curved. You, angry with self, should be grateful, and you are mostly, but not now with bleached noise of cars over wet tarmac. Dread sudden and unnamed returns. 3 o'clock's distant sirens, squeak of nurses' shoes, the breath of machines, claustrophobia of your body, unable to move on its own. That's after Wiley Burkhofer's No Colors Allowed in the House, No Trees Allowed. Telecaster Highway. White noise, bright boys making tracks across the city. On my knees, on the river, he tells me I am pretty. They confess when they write that their jobs are just plain shitty. There's a light in their eyes when they take a look at me. I can tell they're surprised. Their hands on my ass as we walk to my apartment. I lead them to my bed. I play Jeff Buckley, always Jeff Buckley, for hookups with blondes I never meet again. Jeff wails an 83 American Standard telly, the sound of Brooklyn, hard rock, blues, R&B, incendiary, open-droned, harmonic, melodic dream brother. Grace. Mojo Pin is my fuck track on repeat. Jeff sings Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love when he walks fully clothed into the wolf. I stand in rivers up to my neck in algae and weeds. It's pure here, no lips or windows buttoned up with white noise to keep a body from thinking. I dream of a house by a marsh where a blonde with restless blue eyes lives with strangers who wander in while we lie on the bed just talking. I lead him into wet woods after rain to sob with the trees. Slow percussion, hot about to storm. Drum speeds up. Jeff croons, I'm not afraid, afraid to die. Lower Town. Cities are by definition full of strangers. Jane Jacobs, The Death and Life of Great American Cities. Twice I've been on drunken afternoon binges in Lower Town. Twice I've seen her, the blonde ghost who haunts taverns, stands at the bar, drinks house white, takes frequent smoke breaks. Today she's short a toonie, which I give her, and why not? Untitled Monday. A dark ghost that hovers over circumstance. I wander in the day heat, cello, the melancholy of strings that echo inwood is me. Whiskey in the kitchen, vibrator in the bedroom, some guy I want to fuck, still asleep a few streets over. The summer of the apocalypse. A thin layer of chemical orange over stale toast, lime cordial, a nuclear holocaust green at 7 a.m., balcony streaked with last week's rain and ancient sunlight, clouds shaped like Hiroshima, cars on highways decoded as random variables. She does nothing of importance, and no one else does either. In the extreme heat, smells death as she walks on hot tarmac, rivers, swallow cities' poisons, birds of prey are poised to strike, clouds blur into a funhouse mirror sky, somewhere someone is drilling through concrete. Bastille Day 2015, or Tearing Down the Wall, a work of angels. Juna Barnes flings words at bricks, barricades crumble. I steal souls of glories and not-so-sweet Williams. Even sparrows shake off dusty wings and fly. Cheaters complain I've had a lot of men raise STDs because they want to screw virgins without condoms. This intensity, nowhere to go, pent up to fuck a poet, to fuck many poets. Death, she says, is inside us all. I ghost the silence, haunt anonymous gardens, unkempt and fertile. Signs of neglect offer space for the specter. Her language whispers inside my skull. And Tearing Down the Wall, a work of angels, is from Hélène Cizou's book, First Days of the Year. And there are a few titles from the next few poems that are from there as well. We run belly to the ground through the night to bring the message. Distraction swallowed as gin and Midol. To wander, excuse to mope over every blue-eyed blonde. To wander, excuse for coffee. To wander, excuse for pursuit of unknown. Powered by weirds and weather, I'm out before commuters. I combat my instinct for systematicity. Once I excelled at alphabetizing bureaucrats. Now I watch their compost bin maggots get high on unfulfilled dreams. The child of childhood that destruction aims for. To buy a cold samosa, not to cry over the lone blood-red lily on the breeze. To fear for the girl on a bike who crosses against light, playing loose with her mortality. To deliberately get lost in bad weather. To desire a lover whose eyes I can't remember. Nothing holds, and I hold on to nothing. I fuck myself, roll out of bed into yesterday's clothes, head over to Bread and Sons, dodge a concrete truck backing into yet another condo construction site. Dirt beneath my fingernails, evidence of clinging. I can't be a pristine blonde who saunters into a cafe for a skinny latte. I lean into the counter to watch the dark-haired boy barista to slurp mocha. I spill water on my left tit, I don't care. Earth songs, alien music. I never write l'amour fou because my fingers refuse to place themselves properly on the keyboard. Instead, I play its music quietly, hoping you will hear. The kingdom of the other. Mourning is always strategic, Lisa Robertson. I try to document my bliss from early mornings alone on Bank Street, but all that comes out is mundane nonsense about pre-siren pigeon shit murder headlines, unlimited, uncrowded, uncluttered view of who gives a fuck rise of sun sort of from the east. I obsess about my vagabond look. Does this plaid shirt make my ass look big? The small waterproof blanket underneath your ass, not just for when you piss the mattress or spill your guts, you slip down to the bottom of the bed, don't have the strength to hoist yourself up. It's painful, trapped at the bottom, pressed against the bars, you can barely reach the call button. It takes two orderlies, they each grab a corner of the square and boost you back up again. Panic has become so regular, it's ordinary. Amanda, feminine for fighter, gerund of amare, to love, worthy of love, refused to rest in peace, November 11th, 2009. Parts missing, adenoids, tonsils, appendix, colon, 2 wisdom teeth, decorum. Scars, fading Nazca line, pattern barely visible except when viewed from above. Surgeons put her together again. Sexy bruise of a rose from chest tube after lung collapse. No need for tattoos. She is marked by near death, like those who are struck by lightning. Scars make the nerves misfire. Jeff Buckley. Angelic voice meshed with guitar, Sufi chanteuse with cock. He awoke Sleeping Beauty from the spell she'd been under, a decade of slumber, one man with truck for $40, armfuls of clothes, boxes of books, electric guitar and amp. Once upon a time a woman, a downtown apartment, a futon, 24 pink roses, a red cordless telephone, and a revolving bedroom door. Charles. He makes her heart throb, he makes her cunt throb. Those flashing blue eyes, she'll do anything he asks. The first night she lies on top of him, they kiss. She is home. No ruby slipper clicking needed. Imagine a blind beggar prophet making his way through the treacherous world because even though he must endure all the fucking damage, he knows he'll find her. Imagine they meet. Imagine that now he can see. Imagine a woman turned goddess by his touch. Duende. She doesn't want to say she knows death, but that dark shape reached out its hand to take her own. There's no holding back now. She leaps from zero to alchemy. This is her last chance to love. The earth will crumble. What happens when innocence is lost? You grieve, you move on. Edge. She creates work that offers no comfort, finds comfort in the notion of not offering comfort, to know that those who have found no comfort will find comfort in the non-comfort. Fuck-uppery. She wants to distort the alphabet, to pry language from the cold, dead fingers of convention, to live full, to pour the glass over others, to quench the thirsty, to say, fuck you to the puritanical assholes who seek to censor and ban works of imagination, to write filthy things. Guitar. She hears melodies in white noise, voices sing to her in traffic, dryer, vacuum cleaner. Her favorite chord is E minor. There are songs you can hear if you listen, waves that unravel on air to your body, press down on a fret to release the cries, all the sadness in the world and the joy amplified. Sophie B. Hawkins. Introduced to her by glam rocker with demon tattoos, they fucked 10 minutes away from her marriage bed in a 100-year house with a yellow-painted 8-sided master bedroom and newly finished pine floors in the dining room. Damn, I wish I was your lover. Seated upright in a hard wooden chair right down on his cock, greatest fuck of her life at that point. They moved to his floor covered in cigarette butts and ash, drunk on Grant's whiskey. Her husband stood outside the window, said he thought he could make out her shape in the dawn. Indian food. She's 21, living with a man in Waterloo. They dine at Full Bite Burger. New ownership, no time to remove sign. Chana masala, aloo gobi, sag paneer, papadam naan, chicken korma, gulab jamun, basmati rice, rose water, turmeric, coriander, cardamom, black mustard seed. After a life of Sunday roast beef, Yorkshire pudding, bubble and squeak. At 21, she's full of spice, left to grow stale in the jar for another decade. The sizzle from the mixture of oil and spice makes the sound prakash. She's awake at 36. Jazz makes her hips sway, brings out her bedroom eyes, half daylight, half dark, city sounds, sirens, trumpet, car alarm, horn, thunder, piano, geese honks, autumn in New York, Dexter Gordon, Ornette Coleman's sound grammar, Coltrane's Blue Train, Miles Davis' Kind of Blue, Sandy Hill at 7 a.m. in early spring, dirt-covered snow, her fingers cold. This town is empty or full of ghosts. Tom teaches her to love jazz. Bitches brew in the background as she crawls down the corridor to the bedroom, her ass still smarting. Cue the trumpet, title track, Angels at Break of Day, Devils by Midnight, a dialogue of two trumpets, capitulation, release. Kink. To beat the blah, blah, blah from the text to a pulp until it is bruised and ready to submit to the will of the heart. To drip each syllable with hot wax until it sizzles, to clamp the hell out of suppressed subtext and bring it to the surface in one mighty yelp of pain. Lover, you should have come over. 7th track on Grace opens in E minor, organ, funereal, endings, languid. Jeff's voice husky at the start, then vibrato. Drums repeat the sound of longing. Timing's wrong. Lovers disappear. She burns with desire for the world. A moment, the rhythm of their long dark hair falling against her naked body. A kiss at the door before they leave. Men. Ever since the redhead kissed her on the cheek on the first day of school, ever since she pulled Gregory's blonde ponytail on the bus, ever since Jimmy Ballantyne, whose cologne she could still smell on her body in her Mississauga bedroom, at 16, her face rubbed raw by his beard, ever since Jimmy Taylor, the Virginian who carried her onto the band bus, ever since Dave G. from Maryland, who wrote her letters addressed to Brown Eyes, ever since the Quinn boy at Wasaga Beach showed her his cock, ever since they dry humped to paradise by the dashboard light, ever since Rick's groping at Maria Curtis Park, boys who become men, men who are boys, they're her addiction. Orpheus. Death is a mountain echo, wind that whispers through trees. Death sleeps and we are his bad dream, the gorgeous words of Cocteau. She is obsessed with the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, the beautiful woman, a bargain broken, a rescue from hell. What bargain has been made so she can live? Quim. First encountered when she read The Pearl in her 20s, before she knew what to do with it. Quim suggests a delicate licking on a chaise lounge with silk skirts upraised and bloomers down. Pussy is just plain silly. Cunt is her preference. Guttural, Germanic, a one-syllable grunt to grind herself against a lover's face. Red. Made from insects, lead, and arsenic. Early pigments fugitive turned black when mixed. English red, Pompeian red, Persian red, Sinopia, Terra Rosa, Cinnabar, dragon's blood, vermilion, rose madder, flame red, Judas hair, carmine. She looks hot in red, the color of sin, iron for blood. Red comes from Mars and Venus and Saturn. She is an alien, has never fit in. Betty Davis wore a red dress to the ball in Jezebel instead of the white maiden's dress, causing a scandal. Red is an impolite color. It doesn't apologize. Sleep. Anne Carson's Every Exit is an Entrance is an essay which praises sleep. Carson isn't a good sleeper, unlike the author of these words, who sleeps for all of you. Carson references Kant, who called sleep an involuntary poetry in a healthy state. The first good sleep in furnished bachelor off Kiel, her own locked door. No one could stand by the door to watch her sleep. No one could enter the room. In the hospital, when she could finally, by grabbing onto bars and pulling herself slowly and painfully over, turn onto her side. She fell into a deep sleep, relief, dreamed of buying fresh linen, sheets that were not flannel, did not make her sweat. She sleeps best after a good wank or by her husband's side, naps frequently for 2 hours at a time on weekday afternoons, on a king-sized bed that has accommodated 3 people simultaneously when no one slept. Tom, love comes unexpectedly, insistent, seldom convenient. This man is brilliant. They wrote together. A year and a half of lust-soaked communion, unexpected heights from depths of depravity, the embodiment of duende, a badass. With Charles, they formed a triumvirate of dark souls returned from Edge to celebrate life. Untitled number 16, lone Mark Rothko exhibit at the National Gallery. Huge swath of orange she can still see when she closes her eyes, the blurred edge of white, through nothing more than color blocks, feeling. Abstract suit her best, suit her beast. Jack Bush and the Group of 11 from Toronto, Jackson Pollock and the Gestural Painters, Quebec's Automatiste, Riopel's Pavane 1954, a triptych of overlaying colors, Borduas, the Perpetual Chaos, Jean Benoit's the 4 four-leaved clovers, texture, swirls, hidden birds and clouds, a couple making love, space for the imagination, unnamed emotion. Rothko believed that by destroying illusion, truth would be revealed. XXX, Beauty and Degradation, an exploration of the transgressive through interviews with like-minded folk, a list of fucked up literature, film, and music, an urgent need to rebel against sanctimony through violent acts of creation, to support other creators, to fight against those not sensitive in their language because of a need to be kind to their fellow human beings, but guarded to protect their jobs, to rise in their careers, to fuck a feminist. Yard of Blonde Girls. First heard on Sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk. Blondes, the epitome of beauty, eternal youth. Adonis depicted as a blue-eyed blonde. Even Jesus in her illustrated Bible. Colette writes of Chéri, a 19-year-old boy, lover of Léa de Lanval, 49. He pouts when she won't let him wear her pearls. Z evokes the poets Wisława Szymborska, Czesław Miłosz. Miłosz wrote ABCs, a literary form composed of short, alphabetically arranged entries upon which this piece is based. She's read these poets in translation. Translation, a necessary art. The poetry of witness. Vasco Popa, who wrote abstract poems about the horrors of Nazism during the Second World War. If we do not remember history, we are doomed to repeat it. Language fails and will always fail to articulate human feeling, but we try anyway. Thank you.